Hey there, it's Mike Wise with CMG Home Loans and your weekly mortgage update. I'm trying things out a little bit differently here today, so give me some grace as I go through this. But this week, we're going to talk about mortgage rates. They're going up. So the Fed, they've decreased the Fed funds rate, and we see mortgage rates go up. Why is that the case? Also, there's a shift in home values, or is there a shift in home values? I'm going to go through some of the details on some of the numbers that have come out for the month of September. So let's get started here. Why does even though the Fed decreased the Fed funds rate, why have mortgage rates increased by almost 3/4 of a point from the date that they decreased the Fed funds rate? Well, there's 4 possible scenarios that we're going to look at here. So the typical is, this is very normal for a post-Fed rate cut. So the bond market is always ahead of the game. The traders there, they understand what's going on and how the economy is working. The Fed, when they do cut the Fed funds rate, you normally see mortgage rates increase after that for a period of time, and then you start to see them go down. The second thing here is unsupportive data since the cut, right? What does that mean? That means that, well, when they were cutting, the jobs market was not great. And so what we've seen since then is actually the jobs market has gotten a little bit better. It's not as bad as what they thought it was. So that's the unsupportive data since the rate cut. The next thing is the October effect. Typically, October is not a great month for mortgage rates. It's not good for the typical financial market, right? October is not always good. So we do see that interest rates go up a little bit in October, and so that's just normal. The next thing, the last thing that is an issue is we have this election coming up here very, very soon. So there's different sides of the policy here. If Trump wins, well, they think there's going to be inflation. If Kamala wins, then they think that there's going to be, the deficit is going to increase. So both not great things, but at the end of the day, we have this election that's coming up here that is something that we have to be cognizant about. So let's get rid of that there. Sorry about that. So what has happened with the mortgage rates here? So the mortgage rates, we've seen the impact on treasuries. You see that the prices going down, and over the last couple of weeks here, now they're kind of going sideways here. The yield has gone up, right? And since last week, we've actually seen an increase here. So with that increase, we've seen the yield go up to 4.2%. And so let me keep on going here and see if I can get this screen right here. So what we've seen is the interest rates on the 30-year fix go from 6.68% to 6.91%. So interest rates are up. The 30-year fixed on the jumbos, they've gone up by about 1/4 of a point here since the last week. So we are seeing these mortgage rates jump up a little bit. So not great news for the market. In fact, you can see the 6.92 here. A year ago, we were at 7.91%. So we're still in much better shape than a year ago. But interest rates, like I said, are going up here. So couple of things in the housing market. Despite the lower mortgage rates in September, the existing home sales, just the number of sales, they fell to the lowest level in a long time. So you can see here 3.8 million units were sold, and I mean, we're talking about this is 2008 since the last time we've seen kind of that level of sales in the United States. So median sales prices, they are down 2.3%, but still year over year, or for the year, they're up. So no need to worry here on that. But they did slip a little bit in the month of September. All right, so we're going to go through a couple more of the numbers here. Competition is falling. The number of offers that are received per sale, they are going down. So they hit a level here that is on the low side, right? So the Realtors Confidence Index in September, it showed that the homes, there were fewer multiple offers and there was a slower pace compared to the same time last year. So this is kind of a little bit concerning, but it's also not unusual for this time of the year. But a couple other things I want to talk about. Year over year, the buyer activity has slowed from last year to this year. 20% of the realtors, they expect an increase in the buyer's traffic over the next 3 months. That is up from last year at 8%. And so they're not bullish, but at the same time, they're optimistic that the market is getting a little bit more activity. I think that people are waiting for this election to get over, so before they continue to go on to their next purchase or selling their house. The number of offers that are received is down. You can look at the numbers here. They were at 5.5 in COVID in 2022. The average was 3.8%. Post-pandemic, so after the pandemic, they're at 2.8 offers per sale, right? And now in September, they went down to 2.4. So you can see that the number of offers is going down. It is probably a good time to buy a house because there's less competition, even though interest rates are jumping up here. All right, so we're going to go now to the couple of other options, or a couple of other stats here. Number of properties sold above list price. So you can see the numbers over here. Sold above list price in COVID time frame, there 43% was the high above the list price. The average was so the post-pandemic average was 25% above the list price, and now in September it's 20%. So maybe we're slipping a little bit. It just depends. I think the interest rates are going to drive this. Number of days on market. The pre-pandemic was 35 days. During the pandemic, it got to an average of 19 days. Post-pandemic, we're at 26, and just this year, this last month, we went to 28. So that that went up a little bit as well. So you can see in these graphs that it's starting to trend up a little bit further on the days on market, right? And so the selling above list price is actually going down as well. So a lot of things here to kind of digest. That's why right now it's a great time to buy a house. Even though the interest rates are high, I do have this program where you can actually get a lower interest rate for the first year. And if you get that lower interest rate for the first year, we'll do a free refinance for you at that point in time. Give me a call. I'll be around and available all weekend. So hope to see you next week.